That's the power of getting started early. You don't need a windfall to be financially secure. You just need a little income, a little discipline, and to have decades of time for compounding to do its thing. Hi, I'm Ayers, and I write the Substack Money Changes Everything. Everything you've ever wanted to know about Roth IRAs, but were afraid to ask. Part 1, the basics. Key takeaways. Having retirement investments grow tax-free is a huge advantage, so the earlier you can invest in a Roth IRA, the better. Beware the income limits for investing in a Roth. If you're a high earner but still want to invest in a Roth, you can, but you need to call in the professionals to make sure you do it correctly. Most people learn about Roth IRAs too late. A Roth IRA is a type of retirement account that lets your money grow tax-free and stay tax-free when you take it out later. You contribute your money you've already paid taxes on, invest it, and if you follow the rules, every dollar it earns in all those years it gets to compound is yours to keep. But not everyone is eligible to contribute. The advantages are huge, but actually contributing is a bit of a catch-22. By the time you make enough money to comfortably stash that kind of money in a long-term account, you might not be allowed to. Here are the essentials. You can only contribute earned income, that's salary, hourly wages, or self-employment income. The contribution limit in 2026 is $7,500 or $8,600 if you're 50 or older. Happy birthday to all of you. If your income is too high, you can't contribute directly. For 2026, the phase-out starts at around $153,000, and it gets completely disallowed at $168,000 for single filers. For married couples, it's $242,000. Just by the way, this is based on your modified adjusted gross income. That's right, if you make too much money, the Roth IRA is off limits, at least directly. The Roth IRA has earned its reputation as one of the best long-term financial tools out there. The problem is most people know it's good without knowing why. I didn't even know Roth IRAs existed until my late 20s, which felt embarrassing at the time. If you've got a little shame around not knowing how they work, that ends now. So here's the deal. A Roth IRA is funded with money you've already paid taxes on. That's the key. You contribute after-tax dollars. The investments inside grow tax-free, and when you withdraw the money in retirement, you don't owe a cent in taxes. Simple idea, huge advantage. That's why there's all these limits and hoops to jump through, because the benefits are so valuable. But don't fret, my wealthier friends. The tax code has a workaround for you. If you're above the income limit, you can still do something called a backdoor Roth IRA. Despite the name, it's not a loophole. It's a totally legal two-step process. You put money into a traditional IRA, then convert it to a Roth. The catch? The conversion can trigger taxes, especially if you have other IRA money, like in a SEP IRA or an old 401k you rolled over. I highly recommend talking to a financial advisor and a CPA before doing backdoor Roths on your own. It's not rocket science, but it's not that easy to DIY. So why go through all this bullshit? Because tax-free growth for life is rare. You can read 100 articles debating Roth versus traditional IRAs. Here's how I like to think about investing in a Roth IRA. When you're young and most likely making less than that $160,000 single tax filer threshold, like age 16 to 21, maybe you're making a few $1,000s a year, maybe, you have a summer job or whatever, your goal should be to save 20% of any paycheck into a Roth IRA. When you're age 21 to 30, you probably get your first job. Your expected average income is about $80,000. If your company offers a 401k, start there and contribute enough to get the full match. After that, aim to fully fund a Roth IRA. That's $7,500 in 2026. Once you've done the $7,500, now go back and contribute as much as you can to the 401k. But don't forget those income limits. Once you're making more than $160,000 a year as a single filer, you're not allowed to contribute directly to a Roth. So you ping pong back and forth, contribute to your Roth until you hit that income limit, then shift to contributing to your pre-tax 401k. We're basically playing with tax rates here. Ideally, you want to get as many dollars into the Roth account as possible. Then, once you're past the income threshold, 401k contributions will likely save you more in your annual tax bill at the end of the year anyway. Sorry if this is complex. Honestly, I could write a 12-part series on retirement accounts alone. So if you're reading this and going, oh shit, I did make too much money to contribute to a Roth this year, you need to act now, or at least before the tax return is due. You have to remove the excess contribution or face penalties. The IRS charges a 6% penalty every year the excess stays in your account. So don't wait. Call your IRA custodian and your tax pro to fix it before tax time. For example, if you didn't realize that the Roth income limit existed until right this very second, and you contributed $6,000 and you make more than $160,000, you got to call them right now and remove the contribution. If you expect your income to grow or believe tax rates will rise, a Roth IRA lets you pay taxes now when your rate is lower and never again. Even if you're near retirement, it can still be a useful part of a broader tax strategy, especially if you want flexibility when you start drawing income from your investments. So who's the best candidate for Roth IRA contributions? Your kids. Here's how you can start investing in a Roth for them as early as possible. The baby model. If you own a business and sell a product or service, there's a good chance you can hire your baby or young child to model in a photo or ad and pay them a reasonable wage. That income totally counts. If they earn it, they can contribute to a Roth IRA, and you can do so on their behalf. If you have teenagers, teach your kids about compound interest early. When they get their first job, offer to match their savings into a Roth IRA. Help them open the account, make it real. Let's say your kid works a summer job bussing tables, earning $16.50 an hour plus tips. Their total summer income is $4,500. You match that with a $4,500 gift into a Roth IRA. Add an 8% annual return. Here's what that single summer contribution becomes over time. At age 36, it's $21,000. 46, $45,000. 56, $98,000. 66, $211,000. Now, that's just one summer. Imagine they work for 3 summers and you match each one. So it's $45,000 going in at age 16, 17, and 18. So they've contributed $13,500 before college. Here's how that grows. By age 36, they have $63,000. By age 46, $137,000. By 56, $295,000. At age 66, they have just over $634,000. That's the power of getting started early. You don't need a windfall to be financially secure. You just need a little income, a little discipline, and to have decades of time for compounding to do its thing. It's like the financial equivalent of wearing sunscreen. You won't appreciate it until years later when you're the only one at the retirement age who has perfect skin. And here's my parting shot. America is full of broken systems. The Roth IRA is one of the rare ones that works.